when I do the modelling, because they have quite muted colours. You can go and get oranges, you can get all sorts of bright colours, but I find if I put it in the scenery, generally it's pretty hard to control, and all of a sudden you've got this very extreme colour sort of situation jumping out at you. But I just generally use muted beige, greys and stuff as ground colour. Last basic.
You got a log cabin to go in there too?
I have got a cabin, yes. Cheap spray paints. $3 or $4 spray paint. Clumps of lichen. I would give that a coat of 3 spray paint, for instance. Touch of brown around the base maybe. Get a bit of spray glue. Not treated, I don't treat any of this. Might regret it one day, but you replace it or put a bit more ground foam on, doesn't matter. Give it a spray and then sprinkle your ground foam over the top. Very, very fine ground foam. I use this lichen, not everyone's going to find it, but that's what I do. Use very, very fine ground foam over it to give it the colour that will stay there. It keeps the structure of the fine lichen in place. So dilute white glue, wood glue, whatever you like to call it, PVA. Fairly dilute, so it'll spray. As I start to go, I'll go in around it all. When it dries, it really bonds the polyfibre ground foam onto the structure, and when it's dry, it really fills it up and holds it. It's quite strong. So progressively, and as I go through it, you put a bit in, you wet it, otherwise you won't get in there, so just do it a bit at a time. That's really good for holding stuff together. I'm going to now show you the components, as I said. Fallen gum trees, branches, chop them up to suit the scene. Give a rough composition. You can see what that is. I think that tree might be dead. If it is, it shouldn't be probably. I would say probably that I'm working in O scale rather than HO or N or anything else. It's fairly large component, but if you put a person there, the gums are pretty big. So it's probably an O scale type scene that's being bad. I would normally be putting glue in all the holes as I'm pushing this stuff in, just to make sure it doesn't fall out. I would glue this as well. I'm just using wedges, in this case just to hold it there. So I can't create it and glue it, so it's just placing stuff in there basically. So creating a little bit of white variation in the other trunks. If they've got branches, the idea is to introduce some of this. As I said, this is taking a week normally, so as I appear to be going and trying to get it in. You start to screen the tree a little bit with things in front of it. It provides a structure for the ground foam, polyfibre type stuff to go on. Quite music quality sort of material. So I'll then start to introduce that. Applying a bit of glue in there before I start it. I start to introduce that in through the. If you want to feature that tree a bit, pull it forward, stick the other behind it. Up the back. Tree there, if you want a little bit of foliage in front of it. You could deflect that trunk a little bit and start putting a little bit of polyfibre around. what I was trying to do on this one was, there's nothing on there, that's misty. I was just trying to keep and show a little bit of the background in behind it, so when it's done, you're sort of looking through the screen. Very little of that, as you can see, very little of what was there before, so why bother? You wouldn't have to be paint trees here, you just painted green on the side, it wouldn't matter. Some of what I did was just to show how I sort of do trees, but if it's very dense stuff you were doing, you can't see the back, but you wouldn't paint anything.